Hey there guys, welcome back to Trad Rod and Custom. I am Oliver and today we're going to be talking about the Roadster. Let's get into it. Before I get too far into this video, I want to say a big hey and thanks for watching to my niece and my nephew. Appreciate you guys, Tatum and Everett. Thanks for watching. I know you guys have been watching all my videos and well, if you watched the last video, we were thrashing on this thing. If you haven't watched the last video, go check it out. We did a 10-day thrash on this car, and man, oh man, it went from an old rough project to an old rough project that runs and drives. No, it turned into a car, you know, and we made it out to the show. We went ahead and I went ahead and trailered it, and I'm glad I did because I had issues. The car has earned its nickname, and that is Puddles. Yes, Puddles. Got out there and realized that I didn't have enough transmission fluid in it. This takes 11.5 quarts, this hydromatic, and I didn't know how much had spilled out. So before I had really driven it, I put fluid in it, it registered on the dipstick, and I called it good. I'd only driven it about 15 feet. Got out there, the torque converter sucked it all up, ended up putting another 5 or 6 quarts in. Now it's working. So now it's got all the gears, and it feels like the gear ratio for this 37 forward rear end and that hydromatic is spot on. I haven't had it up to speed yet, but it just feels nice and torquey down low, but not too torquey, you know? I think it's gonna work. We'll have to see. We gotta wait till we get it up to 55 miles an hour or something, check out how that's going. But we got out to the show. I'll show you guys a little footage of that now. You can check it out and see how it went. Let's take a look. So basically what we ended up dealing with is it sucked up the transmission fluid like I was saying before, and we were low. So I was having to over throttle it to get in, you know, where you're kind of revving it, trying to get it to keep pumping that fluid to keep you moving, inching along. And with the start and stop of getting into the show for 4.5 blocks, I overheated it. Go figure. In addition to that, to be fair though, it didn't overheat until we were at our parking spot. So it got pushed into its spot. Everything worked out just fine. No damage was caused. The water pumps still leak. Rebuilding those is proving to be a challenge. There are no available kits for this. Basically, I have to try to find a seal that will fit. Or buy a pump. And the pumps, two pumps. The pumps are $250 a piece. So, so there's that. In addition, the open drive conversion on the Banjo rear end here, its seal leaks. Easy fix, but it leaks pretty good. Good little drip. And once we were in our spot, I got in it to start it, pushed down the pedal, because I was gonna, after, you know, at the end of the show, I was gonna pull it out, line it up with the trailer and all that. And my pedal went to the floor, the brake pedal, and I ruptured a wheel cylinder. Totally blew it out, brake fluid squirting out of the drum. So I don't know how many puddles it had underneath it, but it had quite a few. But that being said, for a rusty, crusty, rough project like this, I had people coming up to me, and I wouldn't even buy the car hardly at all. I like to kind of check out the show, hang back a little. I don't really like to hover over people's experience around the cars. I always feel like people feel a little uncomfortable. I don't know. I'm not real into like lawn chair right behind the car and sitting and staring at it. But anyway, I did have a couple people approach me though when I was around the car. Told me it was their favorite car of the show, that was pretty neat. I got a kick out of that. I don't know that my car was my favorite car of the show. There's some pretty nice cars out there, but still. So anyway, now we're back. And the thrash is not over. The thrash is just beginning. We have been working on lights. I got running lights working. Hook up the battery here. I got the charging system working. Turns out that if you use a rubber bushing, rubber around your generator, you insulate it from its ground and it won't charge anymore. Go figure. So I got that working. Let's see. There we go. I rebuilt the license plate light. It's working, both bulbs. These are our two rear running lights in the middle. And I've begun to wire up turn signals. You know you're fancy when you got turn signals. Yeah. Now again, if you want to do like I did and not use a big headlight switch, the way around that, I used a real little push-pull toggle switch. Just pushes in and out. Now that switch is not capable of handling all the power of the headlights and taillights and all that. But if you run that switch to a relay with a big fuse, like a 30 amp fuse, you can run all your power and all those things off of that. And that's what we did here. And it works great. I got the wire ran to the headlights. I don't have it hooked up yet. I haven't decided on what I want to do for turn signals up front, because I feel like it needs turn signals up front, but I also don't want to just have some afterthought looking thing tossed on there. That doesn't sound right to me. But anyway, I thought I'd give you guys a once over the car, take you around it, kind of show you where we landed. I was up until 3:30 in the morning the night before the show, busting butt on this thing. Things that we're going to be working on this coming week. I'm going to be making a grill insert for it. That fencing that's in there is just a placeholder. I'm going to make a stainless steel barred grill insert for it. Gonna finish up wiring. Gonna move our fuel pump to a different location. I was having issues with the fuel pump. And I gotta put that wheel cylinder in, a new one, but we're kind of getting down to where we can take this thing for a little spin. I know I'll be remiss if I don't put a front cross member in. Jonathan from the Hooligans from a car club, Jonathan has made it very clear that I need to have a front cross member in, which is fine. I like being safe too. And I appreciate you, Jonathan.